Okay. Hello, everyone. This is VidHead85, and this is going to be um, an audio video, as I'm waiting for the screen to get um, to get put in. I am going to share with you an article that I shared on Facebook one day, along with the comment that I posted about a comment that I posted, and Facebook retroactively decided that it was spam because I said that a woman was bitter about her husband leaving her, and it reminded me of this article that I'm about to go through now. So this is the comment that Facebook flagged as spam. So we must have been talking about same-sex couples and about a person who said that she resents um, the fact that her mom is a lesbian. And this is what I said. I think she resents her mom for leaving her father. She is bitter. It comes across in her letter, no matter how hard she tries to mask it. It reminds me of this article from the Witherspoon Institute. It's from Public Discourse, but it is from the Witherspoon Institute. They claim same-sex marriage ruined her family, and I link this specific one. Are you really telling me that she grew up with no male role models? Gay couples do not live in a vacuum. And how is being against marriage equality a child's rights activist? She hasn't adopted any children that would have otherwise gone to gay and lesbian-headed households. So the article in question. And of course, you can see, as I'm scrolling up, that this is a very conservative-minded article. And I'm going to go through it, and I'm going to do my commentary. I kind of wish that I was visible so that you could see my facial expressions, because I've read through this once before, and the video did not record it all the way, and it pissed me off. So let's go through this. Breaking the silence. Redefining marriage hurts women like me and our children. Now, let's face it. This article is all about her, as you will see. But let me go and prove it. Scrolling. The push to present a positive image of same-sex families has hidden the devastation on which many are built. We must stand for marriage and for the precious lives that marriage creates. So first of all, let's also speak about the positive image of same-sex families has hidden the devastation on which many are built. She should be confronting the people, the ex-gay counselors, the people that say that gay men should marry women and that will get rid of their same-sex desires. She should also deal with the stigma against same-sex attraction and gay individuals and queer people, because the main reason that a lot of them go into straight marriages is because of the stigma of being gay or queer. Now, into the article. Every time a state redefines marriage, the news is full of happy stories of gay and lesbian couples and their families. But behind those big smiles and sunny photographs are other more painful stories. They are left to secret dark places. They are suppressed, and those who tell them are silenced in the name of marriage equality. But I refuse to be silent. I represent one of those real-life stories that are kept in the shadows. I have personally felt the pain and devastation wrought by the propaganda that destroys natural families. Okay, some rhetorical devices here. Creating a juxtaposition as if gay and lesbian couples and their families should not be celebrated because the devastation, quote unquote, behind the scenes. Now, again, she will not confront the stigma against gay and lesbian people or queer people because she uses anti-gay rhetoric in the entire article. But here, they are left to secret dark places. The Straight Support Network is not a secret dark place. They're not suppressed or silenced. And the fact that many men and women are in straight marriages that are either gay or lesbian, and a lot of bisexual people are in their marriages and they're good with it, I guess. But she's trying to make it seem as if every gay couple has children from a previous relationship or has been married to a straight has been married has been a straight marriage. All right, scrolling up. Now, also, let's look at this one. The devastation wrought by the propaganda that destroys natural families. So apparently she's acting as if gay couples wanting to build families is unnatural. All right, the divorce. In the fall of 2007, my husband of almost 10 years told me that he was gay and he wanted a divorce. In an instant, the world that I had known and the life that we built and loved, the life that we had built together, was shattered. That happens, and that really sucks. It's like a death because something that once existed does not exist anymore. Scrolling up. I tried to convince him to stay, to stick it out and fight to save our marriage. But my voice, my desires, my needs, and those of our two young children no longer mattered to him. Of course, now she's making it about her, and then she tacks on the children. We had become disposable because he had embraced one tiny word that had become his entire identity. Definitely anti-gay propaganda right there. But being gay trumped commitment, vows, responsibility, faith, fatherhood, marriage, friendships, and community. No. 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 Because she'll contradict herself eventually. Because as I said, I read the article already, and all of these that she say being gay trumped commitment, vows, responsibility, faith, fatherhood, marriage, friendships, and community. Now, the marriage did not work between the both of you for him being gay, but his fatherhood did not suffer. Friendships and community did not suffer. Your marriage suffered, yes. All of this was thrown away for the sake of his new identity. No. Scrolling. Try as I might to save our marriage, there was no stopping my husband. Our divorce was not settled in mediation or with lawyers. No, it went all the way to trial. My husband wanted primary custody of our children. Okay, so here she's trying to say that he was vindictive and all of that. We don't get a lot of details about their marriage, but like she's setting it up to be where he is the wrecking ball of this family. My husband wanted primary custody of our children. His entire case can be summed up in one sentence by her, by the way. I am gay and I deserve my rights. It worked. The judge gave him practically everything he wanted. At one point, he even told my husband, if you had asked for more, I would have given it to you. So here she is. We see what she's doing. She's playing the victim here, but she also is making him a villain. I'm gay and I deserve my rights. We all deserve our rights. And she's acting as if the judge just... I truly believe the judge was legislating from the bench. No, that doesn't happen in custody arrangements. Disregarding the facts of our particular case and simply using our children to help influence future cases. Child custody law rarely ever sets precedent for future cases or to help influence future cases. Child custody hearings usually don't do that. Scrolling. Okay. In our society, LGBT citizens are seen as marginalized victims who must be protected at all costs, even if it means stripping rights from others. By ignoring the injustice committed against me and my children, the judge seemed to think he was correcting a larger injustice. What injustice was committed against you and your children? Him leaving after finding out he was gay was the injustice. The judge seemed to think that he was correcting a larger injustice. Okay. My husband left us for his gay lover. Well, okay. They make more money than I do. Okay, the stereotype of double income, you know. But if they have pretty good jobs, they might make more money. There are two of them and only one of me. Okay. Even so, the judge believed that they were victims. Okay, so just because two people are making more money than you doesn't so that their money protects them from being discriminated against on the basis of being gay. Okay. No matter what I said or did, I didn't have a chance of saving our children from being bounced around like so many pieces of luggage. So, in other words, going between homes, it sounds like that really does suck, But also, this is the thing, though. It all seems like here she is being the good wife, and he just wanted to take advantage of her, and that's just not what happened. He came out. He came out. She's bitter, and she wants to piss and moan about it, and that's pretty much what this article is. Okay. A new same-sex family built on the ruins of mine. My ex-husband and his partner went on to marry. Their first ceremony took place before our state redefined marriage. After it created same-sex marriage, no, it didn't. They chose to have a repeat performance. Well, because it's legal now. In both cases, my children were forced, against my will and theirs. It always seems like herself first and her children next. I wonder how I don't think she was a good mother at all, to be blunt with you. Like, every time anything with her children comes up, it's always about her first, then her children. Okay. Against my will and theirs to participate. At the second ceremony, which included more than 20 gay couples, because it was probably the first day that they did this, local news stations and papers were there to document the first gay weddings officiated in our state. Okay, yes, of course, it was probably a mass ceremony. USA Today did a photojournal to shoot on my ex and his partner, my children, and even the grandparents. Probably, well, it sounds like it may have been his parents. I was not notified that this was taking place, nor was I given voice to object to our children being used as props to promote same-sex marriage in the media. Okay, so against my will and theirs, local news stations were there, a photo shoot. She wasn't notified. Well, if he was the primary person, he would be the one to okay the media filming filming the children. And then she says, "Oh, well, they're attending a same-sex wedding, so now they're props to promote same-sex marriage in the media." Again, this all comes back to the fact that she's bitter about her husband leaving her. This is Diary of a Bitter Woman. Okay, scrolling up some more to the next paragraph. At the time of the first ceremony, the marriage was not recognized by our state, our nation, or our church. And my ex-husband's new marriage, like the majority of male-male relationships, is an open, non-exclusive relationship. This sends a clear message to our children. What you feel trumps all laws, promises, and higher authorities. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and it doesn't matter who you hurt along the way. That's bullshit. Just bullshit. Like, I would love to sit down and discuss this article with this woman because it is just utter bullshit. Okay, first of all, it was not recognized by our state, our nation, or our church. Okay. Now the marriage would be recognized by the state, nation, and some churches that would perform gay weddings. That's fine. It doesn't matter, like, as long as it's legal and official. Whoever chooses to recognize it outside of that or not doesn't matter. And then, speaking of the things that don't matter, an open, non-exclusive relationship. The fact that people have been forced into monogamy when it is not for them is a problem. If you expect monogamy and the person says, I don't, or we're open, or we're monogamish, where like we're the main couple, but we can play on the side, that is for that couple to decide. That is for that couple to decide. She's taking this and conflating this with feelings and willy-nilly, and she is so unreasonable in her assessment that it doesn't make any sense to me. Um, you know, at least to me, why she objects so much, other than like being hurt and being morally disapproving of the fact that her husband's gay. And I don't care. And the thing is, if I wonder that if this were in the court of law, what's true and what isn't? I don't think that she's a credible witness whatsoever. All right. And then the willy-nilly aspect of this is it doesn't matter who you hurt along the way. Come on. We all know that that's bullshit. Excuse me. Oh, wait. Dang, that scrolled up pretty fast. Let's go back. Okay. After our children's pictures were publicized, floods of comments and posts appeared. Commenters exclaimed at how beautiful this gay family was and congratulated my ex-husband and his new partner, his new husband, and his husband on the family that they created. But there is a significant person missing from those pictures. The mother and abandoned wife. Just saying that he abandoned her. The gay family could not exist without me. There is not one gay family that exists in the world that was created naturally. So there are some gay families that don't have a spouse from not a spouse, a child from a previous relationship. Are you saying that? Because that's bullshit. Every same-sex family can only exist by manipulating nature. Yeah, we manipulate nature all the time. We build houses, we make fans, we have air conditioning, internet. We have all kinds of wonderful things because we reject nature. Okay, yes, I was channeling Skipper from Penguins of Madagascar. I don't care. Behind the facade of many families headed by same-sex couples, we see relationships that are built from brokenness. Okay, how does she make that statement? She makes that statement so nonchalantly, as if every gay relationship is built from brokenness, as if every relationship can be built on brokenness or from brokenness. But of course, she's talking about gay couples here, so let's go. They represent covenants broken, love abandoned, and responsibilities crushed. They're built on betrayal, lies, and deep wounds. So, of course, there's no same-sex family that has been gay from the start, doesn't have any previous children from a previous marriage. There are no gay families where they haven't been married before, but the first person they're marrying is each other. And you're going to make this claim because you're butthurt. Well, she probably isn't, because she probably thinks anal is a no-no. All right. This is also true of same-sex couples who use assisted reproductive technologies such as surrogacy or sperm donation from their children. So what she's saying is that they're not natural. Okay. Such processes exploit women and men for their reproductive potential, treat children as products to be bought and sold, and purposely deny a relationship with one or both of their biological parents. Wholeness and balance cannot be found in such families because something is missing. Oh, here we go. Her favorite word, I am missing, but I am real, and represent hundreds of thousands of spouses who have been betrayed and rejected. Okay, same-sex couples that use surrogacy or sperm donation to have children. That is true. They have them, and I'm glad for those people who do. But such processes exploit men and women for their reproductive material, treat children as products to be bought and sold. Nope, that's not the case. That is not the case. And purposely deny children a relationship with one or both of their biological parents. Yes, because usually the person carrying the child may not be biologically related. And personally, if the biological parent is not supposed to have anything to do with them, good. They are creating their family. They are creating the family that they want. Wholeness and balance cannot be found in such families. Bullshit. We know that that's bullshit. Just no, not having it. Because there is always always something always missing, and usually a person of the opposite sex. However, she's acting as if they exist in a vacuum, and they will, and gay men will never have women in their lives that their daughters could look up to, and that lesbians will never have men in their lives that the sons can look up to and have role models all in the way. No, they don't live in neighborhoods. They just live in a vacuum where if they're headed by a same sex couple, that gender is the only one represented in their lives entirely. Okay, moving on. If my husband had chosen to stay, I know things would not have been easy, but that is what marriage is about. Making a vow and choosing to live it out day after day. In sickness and in health, in good times and in bad, spouses must choose to put the other person first, loving them even when it's hard. But she's not doing the same for her husband, for her ex-husband. She is not putting him first because she would know that him staying in the marriage would not have been good for his mental health. And so she would not be there in sickness and in health because she would be jeopardizing her husband's mental health. A good marriage doesn't only depend on sexual desire, which can come and go and is often out of our control. It depends on choosing to love, honor, and be faithful to one person, forsaking all others. It is common for spouses to be attracted to people, usually of the opposite sex, of course, because that's better, as if, I don't view gay people as better than straight people. We're just people. Gay and straight only describes like who we have romantic attraction to. And there's also bisexual people who may like both, who may be drawn to one over the other, but there are some that like both equally, and it's fine. Okay. Spouses who value their marriage do not act on impulses. Yeah, because coming out as gay is an impulse. There wasn't years of deliberation. There was no years of feelings from probably childhood, knowing that you're different from every other boy. When your friends had a nudie magazine and there was a naked girl on it, you just looked at it and was like, okay, whatever. Wait, what's that? Oh, okay, whatever. And you were still soft, and then you looked around and everybody was boinging out of their shorts or whatever. Yeah, it's totally an impulse. For those who find themselves attracted to people of the same sex, staying faithful to their opposite sex isn't a betrayal of their true identity. How would you know that? How would you know that? Rather, it's a decision not to let themselves be ruled by their passions. How ironic. Her passion is hating her husband, and yet here she is talking about rather it's a decision not to let themselves be ruined by their passions. If I am not attracted to women, why would I stay in an opposite sex marriage? It does not make sense. It shows the depth and strength of character when such people remain true to their vows, consciously striving to remember, honor, and revive the love they had for their spouses when they first married. The issue is not love. I'm pretty sure he still loves his ex-wife. She doesn't love him at all. But there is so much more to that than what she's putting on. Now she's gonna think of the children. Okay. My children deserve better. Our two young children were willfully and intentionally thrust into a world of strife and combative beliefs, lifestyles, and values, all in the name of gay rights. Their father moved into his new partner's condo, which is a complex inhabited by 16 gay men. One of the men has a 19-year-old prostitute who comes to service him. Another, who functions as a father figure of this community, is in his late 60s and has a boyfriend in his 20s. My children are brought to gay parties where they are the only children and where only alcoholic beverages are served. They are taken to transgender baseball games, gay rights fundraisers, and LGBT film festivals. Okay, so first of all, now here she goes about the over sexualization of gay men, and when she talked about previously, what was it, the open relationship thing, the stereotypes are here. So it's a complex inhabited by 16 gay men. Okay. One of them has a 19-year-old male prostitute who comes to serve as him. Okay. So what? So what? Another man who functions is in his late 60s and has a boyfriend in his 20s. That's what we call a sugar daddy. Okay. And even if it's like a real actual boyfriend thing, I really get dicey with these older, younger, especially because it could be a sugar daddy thing, but it's like grooming, it could be involved. And I really am very hinkly about that because of the fact that of the age gap is so large. But the other part about it is I wonder if she writes this solely because of the fact that, one, like, it's just another notch. It's just another notch of homophobia that she can use against her husband and make us feel like she's a pathetic victim in all of this. Okay. My children are brought to parties. I highly doubt that part. Like the where they're the only children, only alcoholic beverages. I doubt that. Taking a transgender baseball games, I wouldn't mind going to that. Gay rights fundraisers, that's cool. And LGBT film festivals, I wouldn't mind going to those either. But I highly doubt that that's even true. Now, this is where she really starts to let's get through this. Both of my children face identity issues just like other children, yet there are certain deep and unique problems that will face them as a direct result of my former husband's actions. My son is now a maturing teen. He is very interested in girls. Okay, yeah, okay. But how will he learn how to deal with the interest when he's surrounded by men who seek sexual gratification from other men? So in other words, how can you treat women good when you sexually like other men? That makes no sense. How will he learn to treat girls with care and respect when his father's rejected them and devalues them? Yes, because we're gay men, we reject and devalue women. Now, the devalue part for me, gay men could be misogynistic, no doubt. How will he embrace his developing masculinity without seeing his father live out the authentic manhood by treating his wife and family with love, honoring his marriage vows even when it's hard? That's just something she just wanted to sneak in under the radar here. Just because he doesn't have a wife and a family in the traditional sense because he's married to a man, that does not mean that he is not living out authentic manhood. It takes a lot of cojones to come out in a world that says you only need to be attracted to women if you are a man. My daughter suffers too. She needs this one's good. My daughter suffers too. She needs a dad who will encourage her to embrace her femininity and beauty. But those qualities are parodied and distorted in her father's world. Her dad wears makeup and sex bondage straps for Halloween. Okay. So what? Like that doesn't, that I don't care. And for Halloween, who cares? Like, people dress up as stupid shit on Halloween all the damn time, like naughty nurses. But one creative one was one of those Royal Dansk boxes with a sewing kit in it. That was pretty cool. She is often exposed to men dressing as women. Okay, yeah. So what? Are you saying, like, what? The walls in his condo are adorned with large framed pictures of women in provocative positions. What is my little girl to believe about her own femininity and beauty? Okay, so first of all, now this is the thing. She said that he rejects and devalues them, yet he has pictures of women in provocative positions on his walls in his condo. you definitely undermine your point there too. Okay. Her father should be protecting her sexuality. Okay, what does that mean? Probably that he should be a traditional, he should be the quote traditional marriage type. Instead, he is warping it. No, he is not. No, you can't warp anyone's sexuality. Without the guidance of both their mother and father, how can children navigate their developing identities and sexuality? I ache to see my children struggle, desperately trying to make sense of the world. In other words, they're normal children going through something that is normal, going through a normal life, desperately trying to make sense of the world. That is normal. So she's acting as if the mere existence of their father's homosexuality warps theirs. That's not what happens. In fact, there are straight couples who have gay children. So are straight parents warping their gay kids' sexuality? My children and I have suffered great losses because of my former husband's decision to identify as a gay man and throw away his life with us. That's not what happened. Time is revealing the depth of those wounds, but I will not allow them to destroy me and my children. I refuse to lose my faith and hope. I believe so much more passionately in the power of marriage covenant between one man and one woman and today than when I was married. There is another way for those with same-sex attraction. Destruction is not the only option. It cannot be. Our children deserve far better from us. What does she mean by destruction? I'm pretty sure we'll hear it. The next one part. This type of devastation should never happen to another spouse or child. Please, I plead with you. Defend marriage as being between one man and one woman. We must stand for marriage and the precious lives that marriage creates. You can have children without being married. You don't have to be married to have kids. So this was the article that I shared that Facebook called spam in the context of the previous comment when I said that the woman feels bitter for her mom leaving her dad because she's a lesbian. This definitely sounds exactly like that. So thank you so much. I'm scrolling all the way. Sorry, I'm scrolling all the way back up. Sorry for the eye strain or whatever, but I wanted to share this because it was just something that I felt like Facebook was just being bullshit about. And I can't understand why they called it spam 6 years later after having after having a discussion and sharing a relevant link. So in other words, I turned Facebook into something into something positive, I guess. That spam strike, which is bullshit, going against community standards, is total bullshit. So anyway, have a great day, and I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you.